early dawn the bishop's men shivered in the damp. The shiver came not from the cold, spread throughout the camp. Trembling horses sensed the fear of silent, thoughtful men who prayed that wives and families might see them once again. Bishops sent a dawn patrol to investigate the waste of forces at the king's command ensconced behind the gate. The ground mist hid the patrol's approach as they grew close enough to show sentries on the battlements, and an archer drew his bow. Topmost tower a sentry fell as an arrow pierced his skull, and his headlong flight into the moat seemed that of a gull. The patrol reported little, there was nothing much to see. The strong and silent castle was symbol of the free. King's men took communion as the first rays of the sun lit up the chapel's gloomy walls. The fatal day begun. From the castle green the rooks took flight to the high trees in the east. To their carrion minds the battlefield set a table for a feast. Black, the bishop's men, equality, their right, swarmed like ants across the hill, their aim at last in sight. The king's men, dressed in purest white, were driven back by force, and the fighting grew more violent as the battle took its course. Bishops gave the order, no mercy to be shown. Sacrifice will reap rewards when the king is overthrown. The sight of children lying dead made hardened soldiers weep. The outer wall began to fall, and they moved towards the keep. The battlefield, their hungry beady eyes reveled in the sight of death, showing no surprise. The pressure mounted steadily as the bishops neared the gate, and the desperate king called to his knights, "It's your life or the state." King began to fail, as many thought he might, and the queen ran screaming round the walls and urged the men to fight. Bishop's men were tiring as the afternoon grew late, and the king's men lowered the drawbridge and poured out through the gate. Their way across the bridge, their men like falling leaves, or ears of corn that in its swathe the vicious sickle cleaves. The tide proceeded up the hill, the waste of reclaimed land. The once decaying swamp became a shore of pure white sand. Blinded priest was seen to bless both dying and the dead. As he stumbled around the battlefield, his cassock running red. If uniform were black or white, his eyes could never see. Death made no distinction, whatever man he be. As darkness fell, both camps withdrew, their soldiers slain like cattle, leaving the rooks to feast alone. The victors of the battle, at even song, both camps reviewed their sad depleted ranks of survivors of the battle, gave God